Alright guys, welcome back to our Starladder Season 8 coverage. We got our second match of the day coming up, and an exciting one at that. This is the debut of Alliance here in Starladder Season 8, and of course they are facing off against the mighty Virtus Pro. Again, I'm Zyori, with me is Merlini. Merlini, my friend, what's the good word here coming into Game 2?
We see VP, they don't go for the Elder Titan, instead for a first pick Doom.
Wow. You're right. A lot of supports banned out here as well. Virtus Pro going to ban out Lich and Visage. And, well, Viper going to get banned out here by Alliance, but also Venomancer, the two poison guys. Not something Alliance want to tango with. So, yeah, first pick Doom. Any thoughts about what that could mean for the rest of the draft? I'm kind of still stunned.
Saw VP have a Doom yesterday. They put him in the safe lane and had him solo versus a Nature Prophet or something like that. It worked out actually pretty decently. It actually worked out way better than I expected.
Yeah, I mean, Doom was not the only reason that we saw the team with Doom falter in the last match, but first pick material is, I think you'd be hard pressed to make an argument that Doom is more valuable than Elder Titan, you know, at face value. So that's what makes me wonder a little bit, but they are going to grab a Rubik second pick, another kind of interesting support choice, but, well, whatever works for you, I guess. Two heroes they're obviously very comfortable on.
5 seconds remaining.
At least they're drafting for themselves, though, as opposed to just going by what's hot. So you have to give them a little bit of credit for that and not just following everybody else like sheep.
Yeah, absolutely. There is something to that for sure. Next round of bans are going to come out, and will be the Naga Siren taken out of the pool by Virtus Pro. And Lifestealer are going to be the third ban from Alliance. Actually going to see a Lifestealer banned out here. Not surprised to see the Naga banned against Alliance. EGM does play a mean Naga Siren.
Yeah, he does. And yeah, nothing too special about these bands of picks aside from the Doom pick. Rubik, I mean, he's a pretty good support. I don't really mind picking him up early, especially when there's no Venomancer, no Lich, no Visage, and no Crystal Maiden in the pool.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly right. I mean, most of the highly sought after support's going to be taken out of the field here as Virtus Pro do ban out the Chen. So it's going to be Ake's Chen out of the pool, but unfortunately against a team like Alliance, you can't ban all of their signature heroes, and we'll see what the Bulldog's going to play here, but he's going to have his choice of heroes, all of them, all three that he likes to play still pretty available here, so we'll see what Alliance want to grab with their third pick. Huh. Marana going to be their third pick. Interesting.
Yeah, we've seen Alliance run Marana quite a bit. Pretty stable pick. They can pair it up with a Doom if they want to. Even CM Marana's not that bad in lane to set up for Arrow.
Yeah, they did ban out the Bane, sort of interesting. Bane Marana, one of those classic combos, but I guess CM may be a little bit more valuable in the current state of things.
I think Lifesteal is a really good ban out too. He's just really annoying to deal with, and even if you do have Doom on your side, sometimes it's not enough, like we saw last game.
5 seconds remaining.
So, when you see an Elder Titan first pick on Alliance, how do they like to run him? Is this going to be an off-lane
usually
Elder Titan?
Off-lane.
Or is,
yeah,
okay.
Usually off-lane. It's not always off-lane, but most of the time it's off-lane.
Okay.
And Admiral Bulldog can't play him.
Yeah. All right. Well, there's Nature's Prophet, so that's your Bulldog hero right there. And Weaver going to be the third pick from Virtus Pro, another hero, very popular, very strong.
Well, I guess it might not be a Admiral Bulldog Elder Titan though, with the Furion pickup.
Right. So interesting, Weaver and Doom. I mean, Doom is sort of one of the potential counters to Weaver. Having them on the same team works. And I wouldn't go so far to say his Doom is a deny pick, but just trying to wrap my head around this Virtus Pro draft to see how it's going to unfold.
Who knows?
Who knows? All right, they are going to grab the puck. So, well, always a strong pick. Never sad to see a puck.
Yeah, you can't really go wrong with a puck pick, yeah. I think.
I just don't see much synergy across their four heroes that they've picked up so far.
I really don't either.
Yeah, okay. Glad I'm not the only one here.
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, puck going to be valuable here. They needed some lockdown. They needed some,
5 seconds remaining.
You know, a strong mid hero, some sort of a team fight presence. But we'll see. OD going to be the final ban. Interesting. Leshrac going to be that final ban coming out from Alliance. As they do.
Yeah, it's all in all just a very unusual draft.
Yeah, this is the Lesh ban. I mean, are these Virtus Pro players known for running a Lesh? Would he be particularly potent in this lineup?
I'm not sure. They just played Revenge in Natalic, and I don't believe they ran a Lesh there, although I could be mistaken. I can double check. I will double check.
And from the Alliance perspective here, what are you thinking in terms of, is this going to be a mid lane Elder Titan? I mean, who's the S4 hero here?
I think it has to be. It could be a mid lane Nature's Prophet too, which is not the worst thing in the world. You get early levels and you can help your other lanes a lot, but it doesn't really do that good to farm up mid. I think Admiral Bulldog should play Nature's Prophet just because he's played that hero so many times.
Yeah. So this is a really interesting draft with Venge being the final pick. Not a lot of carry potential in this match. Basically going to be Mirana versus the Weaver. So
well, at least it means a lot of action.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to be a slow farming game. Just interesting. Is there any chance it's going to be a Nyx Assassin mid? I was going to bring that up. So is there a chance we can see Nyx mid and a support Elder Titan here? And it looks like that is going to be the case as S4 has grabbed it, at least for now. He could swap when we get into the game, but interesting.
Yeah, interesting. I think that's not bad for them. Solo Nyx Assassin is really underrated. And I saw Tongfu run it yesterday, and they just like obliterated with Nyx Assassin against, I believe, DK. So it's definitely underrated. It's definitely fallen out of popularity, but it's always good practice those Nyx sons.
So Nyx versus Puck. I mean, I have to imagine Puck has a pretty clear advantage in that lane.
Yeah, it's not that bad though. Nyx will get out CS'd, but you can just right click him down, and he can be annoying with mana burn and stuff. But you still have pretty decent room control and pretty decent harass potential.
Yep. All right, well, an interesting game here for game number 2, Alliance versus Virtus Pro, guys. Game 2 of 4 coming up for our Starladder Season 8 Day 6 coverage. Pardon me. We'll see how this unfolds. So it is indeed on our Radiant side going to be Team Alliance. EGM going to be supporting on the Elder Titan here. He will be joined in the bottom lane by Loda, going to be on the hard farming Mirana. They will also be joined by Ake, supporting on that Crystal Maiden. That means in the mid lane, it is going to be S4 on the Nyx Assassin, and Admiral Bulldog going to get one of his signature heroes here, the Nature's Prophet, for that off lane. Obviously a hero he is more than comfortable on. On the Dire side, we've got Virtus Pro. God going to be the one playing on Puck. He is in the mid lane here, and there are currently 4 heroes of Virtus Pro up in the top. We'll see where they settle down, but it will be Arzart playing on the Vengeful Spirit. Light of Heaven going to be on the Doom. JOTM going to be supporting on Rubik here, and Illidan going to be farming away on that Weaver. And again, I'm not sure how these lanes are going to settle down. I'm guessing it'll be a solo safe lane Weaver and then this tri-lane in the long lane with Venge, Rubik, and the Doom. But time will tell here, Merlini.
Yeah, Alliance are clear favorites here. I think it's like 80-20 odds, maybe even a little bit more skewed. But VP undergoing a roster reshuffle and still trying to find their stride. They have Illidan and JOTM. And did you cast them yesterday?
I believe so. Let me double check here.
Yeah, so they have Illidan and JOTM instead of Boil Your Brain and NS. So
we got to see Poseidon yesterday. That was the roster shift that we got to a taste of it. No, we have not seen Virtus Pro.
AA Invis on top. They may find an early kill, especially with the rotation coming in from JOTM. I'm just gonna call him Jottum, like Potum.
Jottum, Potum. Yeah, Bulldog may find himself in a little bit of trouble here, though. Of course, he did skill match.
He's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, in a lot of trouble. Rubik going to rotate his way over, and Bulldog, there's the magic missile. Illidan going to Shikuchi forward. The telekinesis, that'll be the easiest first blood Virtus Pro are going to find this side of the Mississippi. JOTM going to be the one to grab the last hit. Nicely done. Weaver going to be off to a good start. They're slowing down the Bulldog.
It's really important to do, and if they can snowball on him, and Light of Heaven has been completely ditched, or has completely ditched up bottom lane, which is not bad. I mean, Loda on, well, he actually got level 1 Starstorm, but it doesn't really matter, just because it's a preset of moon farming is not the greatest. G actually using his orb a couple of times, and S4 is trying to mana burn him down. He doesn't actually need mana burn anymore because both heroes very, very low on mana. But in terms of the CS war, looks like Weaver is actually, or sorry, the Nyx Assassin actually coming out way on top here, 5-0 compared to 3 for G.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well so far, but it looks like JOTM eager to make something happen. Does have a Smoky Deceit on. Rubik kind of behind the lane here. Oh, he's looking for the courier. He's going to find it. Unfortunately, not going to finish it off, though. That would have been huge if he could have denied that bottle. We'll get the first auto attack off, but...
yeah, that would have been real big. He has boots, too.
Yeah. Oh, wow, yeah. So a noble effort there. S4 just going to sip up that bottle, get some regeneration going and send the courier back home. So it could be another opportunity, but I still like the heads-up play from JOTM right there. Very crafty. I like it.
Yeah, they need to have heads-up, unpredictable play if they want to win versus Alliance. Just because I think individually skilled Alliance is much higher on that. And JOTM AA wrapping around top with a smoke.
Yep, exactly. The Bulldog may find himself in trouble once again. They're going to reveal the smoke. That's going to be the telekinesis going to pull him forward. Arzart with the magic missile stun again. Bulldog not going to be able to survive that one. That's going to make it 2-0 here at the 2.5-minute mark. I think Bulldog may be well advised just to sacrifice this lane and perhaps move into the jungle. Follow suit with what that Doom is doing.
Not yet.
Not quite.
Maybe once the lane's right next to the tower,
Yeah,
so he can get experience at the tower. So and also Alliance is trying to make use of the jungle right now. Aki and EGM both jungling pretty hard, and he's gonna be hard pressed to be really efficient in the jungle. So it's not that bad. He's also keeping the supports up here so that Nixus has an easy level 6 in mid, and he doesn't have to worry about support rotation yet. So that's pretty good.
That's a great point, actually. It's been kind of a 3v1 up here, so he has been taking a lot of their resources and attention, and of course making an unbelievable amount of room for Loda. He is an absolute free farm heaven down here, 18-4, leading the way in CS, as he well should be, and we'll see what item build he goes for. This would probably be a decent Midas game for Loda, given that he is in free farm mode, can definitely, well, overuse the word capitalize on a Midas.
Yep, he's actually going for a very early push, though, with the Ring of Basilius, which is pretty smart considering the wave is right outside the tower, so they'll get a really big creep wave. So that's going to mean that someone has to rotate. It looks like AA is already on his way there. And they can blow an early Krillif here. I definitely think they should, because there's like 8 Treants and 3 range heroes clicking on the Rex. Yep. Not the Rex, the tower.
And a siege creep. So yeah, there's a lot of pushing power here, as well as the Basilius. Look at this. Admiral Bulldog going to use that little tree baby to cut the lane, make sure they can continue pressuring the tower. Glyph going to come out as we do move into a pause. Someone on Alliance is having a lag issue here.
I actually think that TB came a little bit late from Rubik. If he were there a little bit earlier, he could redirect aggro from the creeps. They wouldn't have to use the glyph, and the tower would have taken a lot less damage. So slightly slow reaction from VP. Like as soon as if Fury on TPs, you need to TP there yourself with one of the supports. But all in all, not too bad for them. Illidan will get free farm on top because of this, and Light of Heaven too.
Yeah, I guess that's true. A little bit of free farm coming their way. Gonna check in on the mid lane here. Puck sitting 13-5 against the 16-3 Nyx Assassin, so it is a pretty even matchup so far. Nyx level 5, Puck level 5 as well. And that is the name of the game for the Nyx Assassin, just getting that experience, hitting level 6 pretty much as quickly as possible so you can start roaming about. Of course, farm is great, but experience is really what's so solid there in the mid lane. This bottom tier 1 tower still under heavy pressure though. Virtus Pro looking like they want to defend. Both Arzard as well as JOTM going to be down here to try and land a deny perhaps. Who's going to get it? Not going to be denied. Arrow going to fly. Almost going to clip Arzard there, but just going to fall short. Admiral Bulldog going to be the one to grab that last hit, so that'll be a nice bit of bonus gold going his way to help recover from that slow start he got. Great news for Alliance though. Very early tower push. Well played. And if Loda wants to grab himself a Midas, he can still do it in a very timely manner here, probably before that 6-minute mark pretty easily. So
yeah, I think he can, and then just proceed into the typical phase drums afterwards. It's definitely acceptable. He's going to have it at like 5.5, 6 minutes.
Yeah, so there it is. Got the recipe in the bank already, halfway to the Gloves of Haste. That is definitely good news for the hard carry Mirana, as she will be in this game. Now, also curious to note if Illidan is going to grab himself a hand of Midas. Of course, that is the Weaver up in the top lane, doing well in farm. He is 24-7, so nipping at the heels of Loda, but does not have that bit of bonus tower gold. We see EGM holding the lane, trying to harass back the bug.
They don't need 2 supports on bottom. Like they're both sucking up experience and are not making anything happen on the other side of the map. And EGM doesn't have to feel threatened because both of them are standing there. So if they want to suck up experience, that's fine. I think they just need one of them there. They could potentially get a kill on Nyx Assassin mid because G is level 6. They probably need a sentry ward though. Oh, there's a smoke coming out. They do have a sentry on AA.
Yep, here we go. AA and JOTM going to rotate their way around to the mid lane. Not going to get revealed. They did get a little bit close to Fury in there, but still going to maintain their smoke presence. S4 going to be in big trouble here. There's the sentry going to go down. Vendetta not going to save him. Magic Missile to start it off. The telekinesis. He will use the Vendetta.
Wow.
And
he just needed to use coil.
Wow. Yeah, I thought he would have coiled right there, but
he's got really greedy there. He only has level 1 silence. That doesn't last long enough to prevent the whatchamacallit, the carapace from happening. Yep. Oh, he's going to rock one into the sentry, but AA has no mana.
Oh. Yeah, that was another close call right there. S4, of course, as soon as he sees the animation, knows that there's some sort of detection down, but Whew, close calls. S4 going to walk away by the skin of his teeth. Success for him.
Yeah, that was just big misplay by G there. And just being really, really stingy with his ultimate.
Yep. So, invisibility rune down bottom. Puck is going to grab it in the bottle. The long-range arrow going to connect, but still going to grab the rune nonetheless. Noble effort from Loda, but not going to be able to do much follow-up there. He does have the Hand of Midas, though, so we were talking about it, that timing just about spot on, pre-6 minutes. That is great news
Nature's
for the
Prophet
Marana.
almost has this, too, after early 2 deaths.
Wow. Yeah, Bulldog taking up that jungle farm. In the bottom lane, though, Loda could be in a little bit of trouble here. JOTM staying steady in the lane. God going to use that invisibility rune. Of course, Loda knows that he picked up the invis. So, or did he? I want to say that arrow gave him vision, but, well, he would have seen his inventory.
They had ward vision, too.
Oh,
it expired.
It expired. Okay, all right. So he knows, and he's going to back up very appropriately. I did miss a kill in the top lane, though. I was looking at the wards, and EGM going to get picked off by the solo Weaver. Very unfortunate for Alliance.
Yeah, very unfortunate for them indeed. But yeah, Alliance still hanging in there. They can definitely outfarm their way into the mid game. It really is on VP to try and gank them because Weaver didn't actually go for a Midas. Maybe once he gets a Lincoln, they can start making things happen, but still has a few spells he needs to worry about, like Nature's Prophet Ultimate can just pop it very quickly. This will be the Midas out from Admiral Bulldog 2, Nix with Arcane Boot. So all the items flowing in for Alliance. There is also a Vendetta in mid, but there is nobody there at the tower. But they might find Light of Heaven. He's been quiet all game.
Yep. And how is he doing in farm? Not going to grab a Midas? Well, he still could, but did not go for Midas first. He went ahead and grabbed the Basilius, Bottle, Stout Shield, Boots of Speed. He's got a full inventory, but no big items yet, though. He has gotten a lot of solo experience. He does have Doom now. He is level 6. And looking at net worth, number 3 on the chart, so doing pretty well. That is definitely one thing Alliance will have to keep on the back burner, but for Virtus Pro, like you said, it's going to be on them to be aggressive. 2 Midas versus none. Pretty obvious that Alliance will start to take over in terms of farm. If this ends up being kind of a static farm fest without too much aggression.
Run ultimate.
Yep, down in the bottom lane, and Nyx Assassin, I was going to say Vendetta, but it is the Moonlight Shadow. He is going to throw the stun, will connect with God. God going to be in big trouble here. Lotus starting those auto attacks, the Illusory Orb out, and God going to survive. So, a little bit of a missed opportunity there, but Puck, not the easiest target to lock down.
Yeah, S4 tried to have a clutch play there by just walking into him so that when he orbs out, he gets hit by the Spike Carapace, but I don't think it connected.
Yeah. Again, a good effort, but unfortunately not going to happen. Elder Titan getting close to that level 6 mark as well. He is level 5, just trying to find farm about the map, sitting pretty with his 2 Gauntlets of Strength, probably going to be working towards an urn. EGM's farm not so great, but I guess that's what's expected when you're on kind of position 5. Crystal Maiden getting that jungle farm priority right now. And just continuing
S4 looking for another kill.
Yeah, the Vendetta forward. He is going to catch a couple of them here, but 3 of them going to be nearby. Wants to be a little bit careful for sure. We'll see a little bit of harassment come out from EGM. If S4 can isolate one, they might have an opportunity, but they're just going to move straight into the tower. Nice movement from Virtus Pro not to walk solo, and not going to get caught off by the Nyx Assassin. A wasted Vendetta.
Gold Gleed is almost dead even after the early tower, and even with the 2 Midases.
Wow. So it shows how well Virtus Pro are farming. Part of that is that dedicated jungler who is the Doom. He's just tearing up the jungle, especially now that he's level 11. Picking up some of that jungle momentum, using that Devour. So I guess Devour sort of counts almost as a Midas in terms of farming mechanism, so that'll help keep things even in this farm fest. Still a very quiet game. Only 3 kills on the board here in 10 minutes. I don't know.
Yeah, not too much going on. Both teams just trying to farm it up.
Weaver is going to grab himself a Midas here. So I guess Illidan, reading that this is a pretty static game, feels comfortable making that slightly later economic investment, but still okay. And it looks like Doom just going for the Aura build. Going to go for a fast Vlad's here.
I would like to see him go Midas too, just because Weaver went a Midas, and 2, like, you either get no Midas or you get like all Midas, I think, or like dual Midas to try and counter it. But it's not the biggest loss in the world. If they get like an early Roshan because of it, it'll be worth it.
Yep. Kind of funny in the picking phase, they're talking about how action-packed this game would be because of the lack of carries. Having the complete opposite effect on us here. Everyone just seems very comfortable in their little nook farming away, though Alliance are going to use the smoke here on the Crystal Maiden as well as the Nyx Assassin. So Alliance at least trying to be a bit more aggressive, get their first kill on the board. They're going to be hard-pressed to find a kill right here. They may find some enemies, but unfortunately not going to find anyone solo. They can just pick off, actually, 4 members of Virtus Pro, all grouped up around the mid lane here. With Weaver just still farming. Loda has just been completely unchecked, though. His farm is going to be dirty. Well, him and Weaver both sitting right around the same mark, 4.8k, 4.9k on the net worth chart. Off to a fast start, and now a smoke from Virtus Pro going to come out. 4 of them going to rotate down to the bottom lane, and it looks like they do want to put some pressure on Loda. And Loda, the wise guy that he is, recognizes everyone is missing off the map except Weaver. Maybe I should back up a little bit here, and he is going to move his way into the trees. Nice heads-up play, and we'll waste some of the time of Virtus Pro.
Yep, very nice positioning by him. Good awareness. And they know that no one's mid to defend. If no one defends this tower, they know that they have to be in the jungle.
Yep. Deductive reasoning at its finest.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So, Virtus Pro are going to rotate their way towards the mid lane, though. This Tier 1 tower in the mid taking a bit of pressure. Radiant will burn their glyph as Weaver is pressuring that top Tier 1 tower to try and level out the tower count. They do not pressure the Tier 1 hard. Again, as you mentioned, recognizing Virtus Pro are all missing. Some sort of a gank incoming, and Alliance going to be a bit wise to it, and they will back up. Mirana just going to port to the top lane to try and contest the farm of
S4.
Weaver a little bit. And yeah, S4 going to look for an opportunity here. He may find himself a Weaver. Weaver is level 11, but S4 going to use the Vendetta, and they may find this opportunity. They are going to throw down a Sentry Ward. Unfortunately, not going to be the direction that Illidan's walking.
It's going to expire in like 1 second.
Yep, going to expire here. He is going to get the backstab damage off. Going to be able to get the Impale, so Shikuchi not going to give Illidan too much momentum. Oh, the arrow going to fly. Time-lapse comes, and not going to be able to secure a kill. So again, a good effort from Alliance, but unable to make it happen. Mirana just a little bit too far away to connect with that arrow.
G is looking for Admiral Bulldog.
Arrow gonna fly, just scouting it out, not gonna find anyone, but there could be an initiation in the jungle here. Arzart and JOTM gonna walk right into S4. The telekinesis is going to start things off, but an Impale is going to come out. Arzart taking a lot of damage here. There's the leap forward from Mirana. Going to grab a double kill with that Star Call. And now Light of Heaven going to be in big trouble as well. He gets the Doom off, but not going to be enough. And now Admiral Bulldog going to find his way in, as will the rest of Virtus Pro. Puck going to finish off the Crystal Maiden. Admiral Bulldog going to be in some trouble as well. He had Moonlight Shadow on, but unfortunately won't be enough to keep him alive. They're going to turn this round on Illidan. The Impale, the arrow, down he goes. The fight's still going way in favor of Alliance here. They're going to try and finish off Puck to make it a 5-for-2 exchange. The Earth Splitter going to come. Going to be off the mark, though, and it looks like God will be able to survive. Still, Alliance going to come out ahead here. 4-5. That was a 4-for-2 exchange, though it's not over yet. The arrow going to come. Puck with a nice phase shift is going to orb forward. Oh, man. God barely going to make it out alive, but alas, he will survive. Another wasted Vendetta there from S4.
Really nice stun coming out from S4. And that double stun at the end into an arrow. They really did need to kill Weaver, and his Midas is up, too, so... pretty big fight for Alliance here. Definitely right back in this game. Actually, 2,000 gold lead coming off of that.
Big swing in their favor there. Loda getting that double kill is also really important now. He's number 1 on the net worth chart by a good margin. 2-0-2, and that'll set Weaver back to his first death, like you mentioned, 3-1-2. So this Mirana well on her way to being a scary force. Looks like she did just pick up an item. That's going to be the first Mithril Hammer to join the rest of her items there. And then it's going to be a tower deny in the mid lane. Arzart going to deny it out, so Tower Town is going to be 2-0, of course, in favor of Alliance, despite trailing by 1 hero kill. They're definitely getting the better of the farm. Gold lead now upwards of about 3,000.
G needs his blink ASAP so they can initiate on Alliance. AGM.
Oh, AGM in a little bit of trouble here. He's going to be in big trouble, actually. Illidan pressing forward. Oh, man, I thought he might get away for just a second there. The Wave of Terror just off the mark, but Weaver is going to finish him off, so... EGM maybe overstaying his welcome a bit. Now Virtus Pro going to have an opportunity to get their first tower kill of the match, as they do take out the Tier 1 in the top lane. And, yep, no glyph available for Alliance, so no defense there. 6-4 at the 15-minute mark. Virtus Pro with a response, though Alliance holding on to their lead. Furion's been kind of quiet as well. Bulldog is the outlier here with that extra Midas, and he's going to go for a pretty early mech. An interesting choice on Furion, not a build we see all too often, and S4 going to grab his blink right here as well.
It's going to be, again, a situation of who gets a jump on whom. Alliance kind of got the jump on VP because they like stunned into a Nyx Assassin Carapace. And the Doom came a little bit after that. I think if they just like straight up Doom the Nyx Assassin and go on him there, Illidan going to get caught out.
Yep, he's going to be able to time-lapse, though. That Sentry Ward going to come. Unfortunately, again, the arrow going to be off the mark. Nice Spike Carapace to try and interrupt the Shikuchi. Another Sentry going to come out. Illidan going to move into the trees. Very wise. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a port, though, so he's still going to be in big trouble. Ake with the Freezing Field, trying to do as much damage as he can. Illidan going to move to the edge of it. He is going to Shikuchi back, and oh, man, as Illidan can survive this, that'll be huge. Not going to happen, though. Unfortunately for him, the Sprout going to come out. Loda going to grab that kill, so... a strong effort there from the Weaver. It does take all 5 a little while to lock him down. They burn 2 sentries to get that kill, so a needed kill on the Weaver, of course, the only carry of Virtus Pro, but still, it did cost Alliance quite a bit.
Yeah, he has his ultimate or two. He spent a little bit of his gold. He also needs a TP scroll. If he just like TPs over here with a Shikuchi to follow up, then he could have gotten out. But you always need a TP scroll, man.
Yeah,
It was still really low probability. If he escaped that, that would have been just huge.
the great escape. Yeah, absolutely right. In terms of other big item pickups, though, there is one on the side of Virtus Pro. Puck can be one creep kill away from level 11, which means level 2 Dream Coil, but also has the Blink, so that initiation power of Virtus Pro going to become a little more powerful. But we could see some initiation up in the top lane here as Virtus Pro are about to lose their last remaining Tier 1 tower. If Alliance choose to pressure it, Alliance does have quite the arsenal up here. 4 members, the only one not with them is that Furion, who of course can port in at any time. Virtus Pro, though, they might want to be the aggressors here. They're going to find some initiation. They're going to make it happen onto S4. He's going to get doomed. S4 going to fall. Now this fight might not go the way that Alliance is looking for, but oh, Bulldog with the ultimate. Arzar going to survive with just a few hit points to spare, but a huge Wrath, a Nature's Wrath right there. Also going to be able to finish off Arzard. Ake looking like he may fall. Going to get stuck in the Dream Coil. Illidan taking a lot of damage. Down he falls. One last Starstorm from the Mirana, and down goes the puck. That's going to be a 5 for 2. Admiral Bulldog with the plays. That was an ultimate for the ages.
That's why you ban the Elder Titan. The Astral Spirit plus the Nature's Prophet ultimate like pretty much killed like 2 of the supports.
Yeah, that was just unbelievable. Great fight for Alliance. Things going to continue to swing in their favor here following that fight. And, of course, they did knock down that top Tier 1 tower as well. I'll take the total tower count 3-1 in their favor. And going to pressure this top Tier 2 a little bit as Virtus Pro start to recover. They still have Weaver and Puck in the grave for another 10 seconds. But I don't think this tower is destined to fall quite yet. Still a great team fight for Alliance. Things looking good. Mirana now really starting to outfarm that Weaver. Just about to break the 10K mark on net worth. Weaver still holding steady at only 7,000.
Yeah, the attack speed build plus Maelstrom is pretty good too. He can do a lot of damage with that. And when your Mirana is this farmed, and when you've been this active, 5, 0, and 3, it doesn't matter that much that she is your 1 rather. Especially when you have like Elder Titan with the natural order to increase your right click damage, even to increase the Maelstrom proc damage too, especially without any BKBs coming out anytime soon for VP. It'll also proc the Lincoln Spear for Weaver in case he gets a arrow off, so that's pretty good too. We haven't really seen too much of Light of Heaven initiates. He had a Doom on the Nyx Assassin there, and I think that was warranted because they had the telekinesis on it after the swap, which is nicely coordinated by JOTM and AA, but at the same time, if they don't burst him down before the Carapace, the fight just turns completely around.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So they were at least able to grab a couple of kills there, but Doom's farm actually not that great. Light of Heaven was off to a really good start, but now he's starting to fall off a little bit. He's not really made another big item pickup since that Vlad's offering he had oh so many minutes ago. Did grab a Shadow Amulet and is about 100 off the Shadow Blade, so going to be grabbing that next core item pretty quickly here, but still. Do you like this build on Doom? Is this a good Shadow Blade game for Light of Heaven?
I think he could have gotten like Midas, Vlad's Shadow Blade pretty much at the same time.
Sort of what
they also
thinking.
need magic resistance. They need a mech, not a Vlad's, just because that Nature's Wrath damage Vlad's is useless against. So they need a mech if they want to fight these early engagements that are still a little bit further away. They're actually really far away from that. Weaver's pretty close to his Lincoln Spear, so that'll be a pretty big boon for them. Admiral Bulldog trying to pick off. Shot him.
Yep, and they may be able to do it. That Necronomicon in the inventory of Admiral Bulldog going to be used here. A swap going to come out for JOTM again. The Wrath of Nature going to come, and wasn't enough to secure the kill, but JOTM 30 hit points away from death. That'll be the Elder Titan with the Astral Spirit to finish
That was a
him off.
really fast spell steal on Carapace, too. Like, he spell stole and immediately used it afterwards. I thought he was going to die right there, but he died a few seconds afterwards. But still, pretty nice reflexes from him.
Yeah, very nicely done. Unfortunately, didn't keep him alive, but still a very noble effort there. And took me about this Bulldog build a little bit. Mech into Necro. Not a build we see on Furion too often.
It's good. It's good for this situation because VP, they've been fighting a lot, and they've been trying to fight a lot. So EGM... Bulldog and the rest of Alliance, they just need to like break even or slightly win these team fights, and Mech is the perfect item to do so.
And Loda gonna get doomed, but he gets the leap off right as Doom is casting, and I think he may be able to survive. It will cost the Doom himself his life, and let's see how's the rest of this fight breaking down. It's sort of turning into a two-pronged attack as God is trying to pursue the rest of the fight happening up here near the tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. Arzard taking a lot of damage, very well may fall. No, gonna walk away with red hit points. Crystal Maiden's gonna be the one that gets turned around on, but Loda's back in action now. now that the Doom is off, he's going to be able to finish off the Rubik. Illidan trying to finish up some kills here, not going to make it happen. S4 with a nice Carapace stun, and now one of the reasons Nyx Assassin works so well against the Weaver. Sprout going to come out, but a nice time-lapse out, and Illidan going to be able to Shikuchi away, and it's looking like he will be able to survive. Alliance still going to get the better of the exchange, but not a bad fight for Virtus Pro. If they'd been able to finish off the Mirana, that would have been much, much different, but unfortunately, Loda able to leap just in the nick of time to mitigate that Doom.
Yeah, this first pick Doom is just not good. 0, 3, and 4 on Line of Heaven. They have to reconsider their draft. If they got an Elder Titan instead, it would have been a completely, I think, a much different game. And Doom is nice and all, but Elder Titan's utility is just much easier to execute too. All you need to do is just send your Spirit in, which is very easy to do, as opposed to get Doom off before the Carapace, get Doom off before the Mirana, and you have to be in a really good position, and you often have to die to initiate, whereas like EGM, yeah, he's died a couple of times, but most of them have just been ganks on top. During team fights, he doesn't actually die because you don't have to put yourself in danger to afflict the enemy with natural order.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. That's something we come back to a lot. Certain heroes end up being stronger picks because they're just easier to execute. Not that the skill cap is always a big deterrent, but it's definitely food for thought. And time after time, those easier heroes will tend to do a bit more. Loda, though, going to be able to grab himself a Manta style. He did have that ultimate orb, and I was wondering what it was going to be, and indeed it will be a Manta. So going to get some much-needed stats following that Maelstrom, and a nice bit of right-click damage as well as those illusions. So definitely good news for Alliance here. Any other big item pickups? I did see Necrobook level 2 come out onto the Bulldog. And, of course, Doom did grab his Shadow Blade. We saw that before the last fight. Weaver finally has his Lincolns, though, as well. That's another big item pickup for VP. But, I don't know, that Midas, I guess it can help him recover a bit. But still quite the hill to climb for that Weaver. He's basically an item behind the Mirana at this point.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult for him, especially since they focus him really well with Arrow a lot of the time. And Sprout, like Sprout into Arrow, Impale into Arrow, means he's still going to die, Lincolns or not.
Yep, absolutely right. So 13-9 here. Let's take a look at the gold graph. Alliance leading by just about 10,000 gold gear over the 10,000 experience lead. And Roshan still hasn't been a factor yet in this game, but maybe something Alliance will have their sights set on following another successful team fight. Or it could be something that Virtus Pro could try and sneak here if they want to do some sort of a crafty play. They would have to do some counter warding, but that could be a way to try and get back into this game with a pocket roast strat. Definitely something that's on the table. Puck working towards a sheepstick, but still quite a ways off, has the ultimate orb and only 500 in the bank, so not going to have that mystic staff anytime soon.
Yeah, Alliance definitely in control of this game right now with the Necro 3 up, with Manta out on Mirana 2. She's actually pretty tanky, and you generally don't think of Mirana as a pretty tanky hero. Loda will get Doom down on top.
Yep, and Illidan going to pursue. The Nature's Prophet ulti going to come, and the Lincolns will get procced. He's going to time-lapse backwards. I think Loda going to be able to survive this one pretty easily. Indeed, he will. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, though, Ake going to get picked off. He gets left behind, and Puck going to be able to secure that kill. So, unfortunately for Alliance, they do get kind of two-prong attacked there, and it costs them one of their supports, but could be worse. At least Mirana survives the Doom. And they know that Doom's going to be on cooldown for another 70 seconds.
Yep.
So let's see.
Not too much going on here. Like, Alliance just farming up and VP trying to get kills, but their lineup isn't well suited to it because Alliance is just really farm. Their items aren't well suited to it, rather, because Alliance is just really farm right now. They can't get kills with Doom. They tried to Doom pot him twice in a row now, but she wasn't even close to dying either time. So, and she even came back to kill them later.
S4 going to walk right by a sentry ward. He will eat a stun, but Bulldog going to have his back. He's going to port in, and they're going to be able to pick up a kill onto the Vengeful Spirit near the Dire Ancients. And yeah, S4 just continuing his rampage streak here. He's been very active on this Nyx Assassin. He is 1-1-7. He hasn't picked up too many of the last hits on those kills, but been involved in a number of them. Does have an ultimate orb of his own. I'll be curious to see what he grabs. Loda going to be engaged on by Light of Heaven, and is going to try and port out, but did he just cancel it himself? What happened right there? I thought Loda was going to... Telekinesis came in. Oh, okay, sorry. That was just... I didn't see the Rubik. Tunnel visioning hard right there, as I thought Loda was just going to be able to hop out. So, kind of a much-needed kill for Virtus Pro right there, as they do finish off the leading farmer in the match, who, of course, is Loda on that Mirana.
Yeah, S4 has been playing really well. Even though he's 1-1-7, he's still been like constantly scouting out VP, and he hasn't really walked into any century wars. The only death that he had was on the top T1 engagement where he got doomed. But aside from that, he's been playing, or he hasn't died yet, which is pretty astounding considering how really reactive his team is. Like Loda's just pushing out lanes, coming to fights when VP takes a big engagement. Nature's Prophet also the same thing, farming, TPing in when there's an engagement, and it's mostly just S4 to find fights, find out where VP is, look for easy kills if possible, and not die. And he's been doing a very, very good job of doing that.
Absolutely right. So Virtus Pro going to smoke up here. They've got a three-man smoke. Doom leading the way as he does have that Shadow Blade. It looks like both teams have their sights set around the Roshan pit, at least for now here at the 26-minute mark. Alliance going to scout it out, make sure no one's in the pit. Of course, they see no one. Furion actually going to throw the ultimate. It does burn the Lincolns on Roche, but here we go. Initiation. Dream Coil going to be used just to catch the solo S4. I don't know if that's the best use of that ability as the rest of the fight starts to begin to unfold in front of us. Rubik going to get picked off by the Nyx Assassin. Doom comes out, but this fight just going way in favor of Alliance here. Marana doing a lot of damage, and it's going to be a 3 for vanilla to start things off. Puck and Weaver, the two mobile heroes, going to be the only two to survive. And
why would you doom the Crystal Maiden, Light of Heaven? Why?
Yeah, not the best target.
There are many, like even any other hero is better than Crystal Maiden at this point.
Yeah,
and Elder Titan has an AC. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous farm.
Yep, and now he's got a Morbid Mask as well. Probably going to be moving towards a Vlad's. Yep, there's the recipe as well. So Aura is going to be coming out aplenty for the Elder Titan. Now Illidan going to be chased into a corner here. He does have a port, so this time he will be able to make it out even if they catch wind of him. And yeah, he's going to do just that. But still, Alliance going to group up for a push here. They're hot off Roshan. They've got plenty of hit points to spare. Crystal Maiden going to be coming up here in just a second. Going to be able to port to this tier 1 tower in the bottom lane, so she'll be able to get back to the action pretty quickly. And Loda just going to be in the front lines here. He's got an Aegis of the Immortal. He's got another Ultimate Orb. He's got very few fears in the world right now, and just going to start chipping away at this tier 3 tower. Glyph going to be used right away by Virtus Pro. We'll see how Alliance want to react here. They're just going to go straight in. Arzark going to get caught. Nature's Prophet going to be the one to grab that last hit. It's going to be a 5v4 to start off this fight. I don't think AA has a buyback. And yeah, indeed not. He's going to be short some gold. Here's the initiation. Puck going to hop in. Going to get a 5-man silence off. A good effort, but the follow-up just isn't there. The Glyph going to be down. Furion going to make some treants. And I think this tier 3 tower is destined to fall, Merlini.
Yeah, from this match, it looks like VP, they're getting there. I think it looks better than the old VP. They really do need to work on their drafting skills, and I think Light of Heaven has just been playing extremely poorly in the past couple of weeks. Like, Illidan got a solo kill on EGM on top. He also was able to get like a lot of farm in the early game, but like they just kind of just completely fell apart in the mid game. And even though they had a farm advantage and momentum advantage early game, just unable to translate that into the mid game, especially with the double Midas coming out from Alliance. Alliance is like a rather predictable playstyle, but they execute it so well.
Right.
S4, Space Creator, Loda, and Admiral Bulldog, the farmers in their late game, but they still have some fight.
Yeah, I mean, Virtus Pro burning a lot of buybacks here. The sustain from Alliance in this engage is what's really troubling me here. I mean, they've just been basically walking around the Virtus Pro. I mean, look at the positioning from S4 right here. He's just walking around, not a care in the world, while the rest of his team starts knocking down these structures. It is kind of a massacre at this point. Doom and Weaver both bought back following that engage, so Alliance obviously going to come out the victors here, undoubtedly. Gold lead now upwards just about 20,000. Experience lead to boot. They may grab a cleanup kill on Admiral Bulldog. No, as they come out, Rubik going to get connected on by an arrow. He's going to fall. Bulldog going to use the mech. He's going to survive for now. Light of Heaven going to get that one last auto attack off, but it is going to cost him his life. That Chain Lightning going to connect with God. He's going to pop out of the phase shift. He will blink out. And nope, going to be able to blink down. Illusory Orb. Loda looking for an opportunity. Puck with the crafty plays. God knows what's going on, but Loda does have a keen sense for where Puck may go here. Going to throw the Sacred Arrow, and this time, nope, thought that might be it. This Puck is just so crafty. Look at him hopping around here. This time he's going to get hit by the Astral. Going to grab himself an Illusion Rune as well. Another Blink going to come out of this for sure, but this time he's going to fall. Ake with the well-timed Crystal Nova. Going to finally finish off that Puck.
He did not need to get that Illusion Rune. He could have waited for the for it to come across the opposite side of the hill. But still, nice plays by him.
A lot of back and forth right there, but yeah, Alliance just steamrolling that team fight. When it's all said and done, Lincoln's going to come out. There it is. GG, well played. It's going to come out from Virtus Pro, and I think it is very much warranted right here. An interesting game. As you mentioned, Virtus Pro starting to come together a little bit, but
yeah,
in many a case, I would say there's a reason teams don't first pick Doom, and this game is further testament to why he is not first pick material over Elder Titan.
Give Light of Heaven Darkseer.
Yeah.
It's one of the few heroes that he's really good at. All the other ones are like, meh. But I think Weaver played pretty well. G played pretty well too. The two supports played really well in the early game, but they really fell off as soon as Alliance pushed down that T1 on bottom. So they had to be better reactive to push. They're good at killing people, but not good at defending pushes.
Yep. Absolutely. So, GG, well played. That's game 2 of 4 today, guys. Alliance going to come out victorious after 30 minutes. We've got our next match coming up here in about 10 minutes, and plenty more Dota action coming. We're going to see Virtus Pro in another match coming up next. They are playing OSG in the next matchup, so we'll see how they fare against a team not quite as skilled as the Mighty Alliance TI champions. So, stay tuned, guys. Plenty more Dota action coming your way here on Beyond the Summit.